Hey everyone, it's Mike from Rogala Photography here. Today I am going to show you a great Photoshop tutorial. It's something everybody should learn how to do, especially if you are a portrait photographer or you are taking, your family portraits, etc. Is making the subject pop in your photo, making sure everybody's focused on your subject and not really on the background or what's going on behind the scenes, etc. So this is a great way to do it. It's a little extensive process, but for the most part, it's not hard to do though. It's very easy to do, but it is a little bit time consuming. So first things first, do your initial edits. So whether you are in Lightroom or in Photoshop Camera Raw, make sure you go on in and do your edit. Make it look, okay. Don't go crazy. Just make the lighting and the color, I don't want to say neutral, but kind of like where it looks good. Okay, we're going to make it look better, but right now we want to make it look good. So you can see here, I've already done that. I've already gone in and made all my edits to the photo here. Basically, I just increased my exposure, increased my whites a little bit, decreased the highlights. I think I adjusted the temperature just a little bit, but we are going to fine tune that in a minute. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and I also did some sharpening, and I also did the calibration a little bit just to kind of get the color, again, just kind of where it's a good starting point. You can see here, I have my layer right there. Now, in order to create subject separation, we have maybe 4 different ways to do this. We can use contrast. We can use luminosity or brightness. We can use saturation. And then we can also use complementary colors. Now, if you don't know color theory, complementary colors is basically if you have a color in your photo and it's like one of the main colors, you can add a color that's opposite it on the color wheel and add it into your photo. I don't really think I'm going to do it too much in here. I might do a little bit, but it is a great way to add some contrast and make your subject really pop off of the background or in your photo. What we want to do first is select our subject. So you can choose any one of your selection tools here. I'm using the object selection tool. It doesn't really matter, any one of those. And then I'm going to come up here, click select subject. Again, Photoshop is actually pretty darn good at making the subject. It didn't really select the sunglasses here, but I'm not really too concerned with that right now. So we select the subject. Now what I want to do is create a brightness contrast adjustment layer. So we find brightness contrast, we adjust the layer, and you can see it's already created a mask with my subject selected, but we want to work on the background first. Okay, we're going to start with the background. So we want to hit Command I to invert that mask, and you can see right here how it's switched over. So now remember, with a mask, that white always reveals and black conceals. So you can see here in the mask that we're not going to be doing anything to the subject, but we are going to be adjusting the background. So now what I want to do is in the mask here, I want to get on the properties here. So we want to increase that feather just a little bit, just so it's not a very abrupt effect. Okay, so we're just going to increase it a little bit here. That looks good, right about there. All right, so let me get out of that. Now what I want to do is come on over here to the properties here, and I want to decrease the background. And we also want to decrease the contrast a little bit too. So I'm going to decrease. I want to go too much there because we are going to make our subject pop. So if we went too high, yes, it's too much contrast there. So we want to make sure that we kind of take away a little bit from the background. I'm going to kind of go a little bit darker right there. All right, and that's pretty good right there. All right, so there's the background there. So now you can see I have my hue saturation layer here. However, we don't have a mask on here. So we need to put the mask up over here. So we're going to hold down the Option key, drag the mask over. It's going to ask you if you want to replace the layer mask. Click yes. And now you have a hue saturation adjustment layer all masked out, ready to go. So now you can click on that. We want to bring down the saturation. Again, we could bring it back down. We don't want to go too much again, just a little bit to kind of take away from that. And if we want to, we could take some of the lightness away as well. And again, we don't want to go completely crazy here, but we do want to make sure that our subject is the focus of this photo. Now what I want to do is I want to come over here and I want to create a curves adjustment layer. And again, hold down the Option key, drag your mask up. Yes, I want to replace it. Boom. There we are. And then with the curves, I want to click over here on the curves. I want to kind of take the midtones right here in the middle and bring them down just a tad. There we go. Perfect. And then also what I want to do is flatten the blacks out a little bit by just taking the blacks. And again, we don't go too much, but again, we're taking attention away from the background. Okay, we are using the, contrast. We've used luminosity, and we've already used saturation in the background already. And now you could do this as many times as you need to, but I think for this particular photo, we are good. So now what I want to do is I want to select, hang on here. I want to select all these layers right here, hit shift, and I want to add them into a group. So right click, and then I want a new group from layers. And we're going to call this background separation. Okay, and we are good. Boom. So now what we're going to do is we are going to create a new blank layer. And then I want to hold down Shift, Option, Command, and E. And it's going to create a new stamped layer. So it took everything below it and it stamped it into a layer. So now what we're going to do is we are going to work on our subject. And now what we need to do is create a mask. So let's create a mask by clicking on the mask down here. And now we could take one of these down here, hold down the Option key, drag it up and over. It's going to ask if you want to replace it. Click yes. However, now what we need to do is click invert or Command I. And now we have the subject selected. And then now what I want to do is hit Command J. So now our subject itself is selected. Now what we want to do is convert this to a smart object, this layer here. And we want to come here and click convert to smart object. And this is just in case we want to come back to it. And you can see here, I have my layer right here. So now what I want to do is I want to come on up to filter, camera raw filter. And now what I want to do is I want to edit this as I need it. So it's going to be mostly with the light. So I want to, I want to increase my shadows. All right. My whites, I want to get them up there a little bit. Highlights, I want to bring them down. Again, I don't want it to go too crazy here. Contrast, let me see, we could bring it down. Oh yeah, contrast, I want to bring it down a little bit. We could bring it up later. And let me see here, my blacks, do we want to go? Well, we want to make sure we have a little bit of contrast. So we're going to adjust our contrast using the whites and the blacks. Again, I usually don't touch the contrast slider too much. However, in this case, I did lower the contrast. Increase, oops, too much. Right there. Now, the other thing I want to adjust maybe is the temperature. I want to kind of cool off just a little bit, -3 there. And then I want to increase the vibrance, and I want to increase your saturation just a tiny bit there. And then I want to hit OK. So now what we want to do is we want to create a curves adjustment layer. So come on down and we're going to click the curves. Boom, right there. Click on the layer mask, which is right here. Option, bring it up and over. Boom. Yes, we do. So our subject is selected. Actually, what I need to do is, I forgot about this, but I do want to create another stamped layer. So Shift, Command, Option, and then E. And it's going to create another stamped layer. And you can see now I can use my brush again. And now we can come on over. Actually, I want to bring this curves layer above that right there. And so now what I want to do is click on the curves layer right here. I want to use my little hand picker right there. And I want to kind of pick areas that I want to lower. Oh, not too much here. We don't want to go too crazy. Right here is a little bit on the bright side. We don't want to go too much here. We just don't want too much highlights there. That's better. And now you can do this as many times as you need to. Again, for me, this is pretty good right here. So now what I'm doing is I want to create a selective color adjustment layer up on top there. Again, hold on Option, drag my mask over. Boom. There we go. Yes, we do. And I want to select, make sure we get the tools right there so we have it. And then we're on the reds here. So now what we can do is we can adjust the reds to see, how we can kind of create it more of a pop. So let's see, maybe we can increase the blacks. If we increase the blacks, see how the color, the reds, they pop a little bit more. Let me see, magenta. Do I want to lower that down? That's too much. Right there, that's pretty good. Cyan, we can create that. Yellow, not too much. That looks pretty good right there. So there you have it. You have a photo that the subject is now popping off the screen. So there it is now. If we come on over here, this is what it looked like with just basic adjustments. Okay, just basic. But then doing all of the other adjustments, you can see how the photo, the subject just pops right off the screen. Hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please go ahead and click that like button and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. I'm really trying to get to 500 subscribers. I'm getting closer. Right now I'm at around 87. So I need 87 more, I should say. I have 413. I need 87 more to get to 500. So please click that subscribe button. I really, really appreciate it. Until next time, take care, everyone.